around Ferry, Harper's Ferry. She was green, left Douglas, and
That's right.
so I think I joined the old man.
That's right. But how would you define your relationship to what I'm calling radical democracy? Because there's a sense in which I'm building on elements of your earlier work, and I want to know now, later, how you define your sophisticated Pan-African view of the world with radical democracy.
But that kept me in trouble all the time because I had a 50-year direct relationship to the American Communist Party.
Right, right.
I would not let them take away my African partiality, my nationalism, and I would not let them stop me from criticizing them for their contradictions. Until finally they drove me out of the association of the party. I was never a member of the party, and yet I was closer related than many members and had more confidential information than most members, but I was never actually a member of the party. Briefly, I was a member of the Young Communist League on the Lower East Side, but I read more and did more work and defended the right of the party to exist, and traveled in Russia several times, and I think the experiment in communism deserves a fair chance to exist. I think the Russians made a mess out of it and turned to capitalism. And Russia, in spite of its pretended fight against imperialism, Russia was an imperial nation, but its empire was in Europe, mostly. 40% of Russia is Oriental, and most of them are Muslim, and didn't plan to change. It was stupid to declare a nation atheistic, officially an atheist nation. Now, I think all organized religion, male chauvinist murder cults.
That's right.
I'm a strong spiritual human being because all organized religion has let itself be used by foreigners, fakers, and fools to enslave people. And I say this is irreligious to let religions do an ungodly thing.
That's right.
But I don't think, had Russia had the intelligence of letting these different outlying colonies keep their religion and their culture, they would have objected less to Marxism. And Russia could have kept her empire had she not tried to impose a monolithic communism on all the people within the empire, especially the Oriental section to the south. Russia is now doing what she was criticizing England and the United States and the imperial powers for doing. Literally killing our own people. There was some discrimination in Russia against Africans, and many Africans taking Russian women home was found dead on snow piles in Russia. Because, you know, we're sweet talkers wherever we go.
That's right.
I was at a hotel in Russia, and all the Russian men, this girl was a former ballet dancer, she hurt her leg, so she was now handling the newsstand. And all the Russian men was coming there talking to her and talking, she couldn't see them for nothing. And how this African get this barber in Russia, I don't know. So his barber was parked outside, and he got sweet talking to this Russian girl, and she closed that newsstand and was gone with him somewhere. Brother, I don't know what you said. Some of these Africans, a little too bold for some of these Russians, and not discreet at all. And so that wasn't appreciated. I've seen them walk by the Lumumba University and call that the zoo. So Russia was not without discrimination. As for whether Russia was anti-Semitic, I don't even know what a Semitic is, and I don't think the Jews know it either.
You know when y'all want to come about it, he knows a lot of folks who call themselves Jews. But let me ask this question now, because I think it's an important point in relation, especially to the young people here, that there's a sense in which the road that Professor John Henrik Clarke has traveled has been one of profound intellectual engagement with traditions like Marxism, communism, critiques of capitalism, radical democracies, exchanges with Paul Robeson and Du Bois and others. And why do I say that? Because I think there's, at times, you all correct me if I'm wrong, there's a tendency to relate to his particular nationalist dimension and not recognize from whence it comes. He is not a garden variety nationalist who has not grappled over his life with capitalism, communism, issues of class, patriarchy, gender, and so on. And so it's very easy at times for folks to invoke John Henrik Clarke because he is so rightfully well respected, but not understand the fire, the brook of fire through which he had to pass as a serious intellectual freedom fighter who engaged Marx and Engels and Lenin and right on across the board, as well as the radical democratic tradition. Is that a fair characterization, Professor Clarke?
That's fair, but remember, I was born in Union Springs, Alabama, son of a sharecropper. I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, where my father worked in a brickyard or fertilizer company. He made $12, $15 a week. In 1 week, he made $18. And being his oldest son, I had to count the money. Then he would lecture me on perseverance, how, look what you can do in this country, boy. If you work hard, $18 in 1 week. Now, you know, you tipped the head waiter more than that. One night out, you tipped the waiter more than that.
That's true.
I mean, so the idea of working hard, most of the people got the money in this country don't work hard. Some of them don't work at all.
That's right.
All right, I grew up in, I left home because I couldn't stand my stepmother when I was 14. I lived in a boarding house. That was another kind of house. So I got all kind of experiences of poor people, with poor people. There's an imbalance in the society. I see too many people who don't work at all with a whole lot, and too many people who work like hell and ain't got nothing. Communism offered me a place to examine the society, to see what was wrong. I examined the society, found some things wrong, but I wasn't, what communism failed to understand, it gave me the capacity to examine them too. And I did. And subsequently was thrown out. I'm a nationalist, and I'm unapologetic about it.
Go ahead.
I've associated with all kinds of people, and I've loved all kinds of people, and I've appreciated the help of all kinds of people. But first and foremost and above all things, I'm devoted to the ultimate liberation of my own people.
Chief, brother! Chief, brother! That's right.
Then that raises a question of peoplehood versus nationhood. Because you see, I believe that people of African descent are distinct people and an extension of African people. And one can believe in distinct people who